What up, what up, what up? It is Friday, 5 p.m. We've had an amazing week. We got a lot to celebrate over here. We have the one and only Raw coming at you from Knick Life Crisis with the one and only Al from Harlem.
Yeah,
Al,
yeah.
how are you feeling on this Friday?
Bruh, feeling great, man. Victory Friday, man. We got the whole weekend off. We get to watch other teams sweat out game sevens. It's going to be amazing, man. Great weekend ahead. Let's go.
It does feel like a vacation going into this weekend. Like there's no stress on my plate. Maybe I'll rewatch the Knicks winning by 50 again. I don't know. The world is mine right now. It feels absolutely incredible. It has been a crazy series, and we are excited. Thank you to all our listeners for joining. For all of our fans, we want to give a shout out to Nick of Time. For our listeners, you'll be seeing us move our stream permanently to Nick of Time with one of the best crews around. We have an exciting show for you here today. We are going to talk about a handful of things. I'll give you a quick rundown on the agenda. We're going to start with addressing the haters because I think it's always important to take receipts for all the experts out there that thought the Knicks would be out against the Hawks for a variety of reasons. I know Al has been diligently watching and rewatching clips with so much hate in his heart. So excited to see what he has to share about that. We're going to talk about the series, Knicks in 6. Who was our MVP? What did we like that we saw? This series really was a whirlwind, and we have a lot of takeaways and a lot to celebrate. And then we're going to go to what's always a hot topic for Knicks fans. How do we feel about Mike Brown? Has the tide turned again? Are there Mike Brown lovers in the room? Are there still doubters? Do we give him his flowers? Do we give him some more cookies to choke on during a press conference? We'll find out. We can talk about that a little bit. And from there, we're going to talk about, obviously, with this weekend, Boston versus Philly, Game 7, Saturday evening. What do we want? Do we have a preference on who we play? What are we rooting for outside of triple overtime and a lot of fighting in that series? So we're going to talk about that. And then, of course, we're going to close with Crisis Corner, which is a special segment for me and Al and for our listeners. We touch a little bit about things around the NBA for a minute, but really we talk a lot about being dads during this time and kind of what's happening in our personal lives and share some fun stories. So with that, Al, I'm going to turn it to you. Let's start with the hate in your heart. Let's talk about all the people that doubted us. What do you think? Where do you want to start? Because I know you got a list out there.
Oh, man. First and foremost on my chopping block is, this has to be the worst show, like the worst sports show out there right now. The FanDuel Sports Network or whatever they are, like Chandler Parsons and Lou Will. They are horrible, bro. They always have horrible takes. So let me present my screen. Is the screen? No, the screen isn't up. Hold on. There you go. Thank you, sir. Let's listen to this take.
Speaking of, the series is tied at 2. Both of you guys have Atlanta advancing out of this one. They'll be in New York next. Are you still picking the Hawks?
I am. I mean, that's going to be a pick. I'm going to stick to it. I think they are a better basketball team. I think they're playing better right now. And the Knicks' inconsistencies are just going to be too much to overcome. Obviously, this is a big game. The fact that they have home court advantage is huge for them moving forward. It's going to be an awesome environment. Like, CJ McCollum's got to be great. Like he was great in game 1 and 2 and 3. He struggled a little bit last game. Jalen Johnson's got to get going. The Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he's got to get going. Like it's got to be a collective effort, all hands on deck for the Hawks going into the Madison Square Garden to get this win would be huge. And I think the winner of this next game, I think obviously wins the series. I think it's that important.
Listen to Lou Will.
A big one.
Yeah. Especially if it's Atlanta going back.
I think this series is right where we thought it would be. I didn't think neither team would dominate the other. I thought this was a great matchup, and I agree with Chandler. I just think Atlanta Hawks right now, they have more of an identity. They understand who they are as a basketball team to be able to get them to 4 wins before the New York Knicks do. But New York Knicks, they got a lot of questions to be answered. Can OG be the player?
Hey, we answered those questions, man. We definitely answered those questions, sir. You are
And
on
can
the
we just
wrong
say
side.
one thing? The only person who seems to have a worse take than Chandler Parsons might be the Memphis Grizzlies when they gave him 4 years, $95 million for one of the worst NBA contracts of all time. Just want to give him a shout out for that because that was an incredible play by him.
Next on my list is your favorite guy. Put him up there.
Oh God.
This one's quick.
I would say the Hawks have dominated this series.
Jesus Christ, bro. They have never dominated this series. Their 2 wins were like by a point each. Like, whoa, that is not domination, bro. What are you watching? Like, what are you watching?
Let's keep. Is that all you have to say? Is that all you have from
That's what
Draymond?
I just had 3 seconds from him.
But let's also just say one more thing about Draymond. Did you hear the hate that he had in his heart for Steve Kerr? How he blamed Steve Kerr for limiting his offensive potential in the Warriors system on the way out. So yeah, Draymond continues to have hot and unimpressive takes. But who's next? That's 2 for 2. What do we got? What else we got?
Oh, next we have the other Knick hater extraordinaire, your boy Shaq. Let's bring him up to the stage. Let's bring him up. He had to bury. He picked the Hawks.
So hard to say goodbye.
He had to bury Harry.
Gonna miss you, Harry.
York Knicks, do not adjust your sex.
This dude, he's always picking against the Knicks, man. But whatever, man. I just had to address those guys before we got into the breakdown of the game and the series and all that. But before we do that, man, shout out to the chat. I see Lee Escobedo in there. I see Rich Dot in there. I got some other folks over on my Instagram. If y'all can pull up to the YouTube. And if you haven't already, make sure that you hit the like button, smash the like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel to 10,000. We're already at 9,000. So trying to get there and grow with you guys. So appreciate all the support. Let's get into the agenda, man.
Wait, before we do that, can you do that Hawks noise one more time? That was will haunt me in my dreams forever. That was impressive. Yeah, let's get into it. I think it's great to always start with the haters. Although I will say Lou Will is one of the greatest storytellers of all time, and he has wings named after him at Magic City, right?
Does he?
Yeah, they have a Lou Will split. The Knicks, after they won in Atlanta, I think it was Game 4.
They went and got Lou Will wings.
They ordered the Lou Will wings and ate in the locker room. So shout out to you, Lou Will, keeping us fed. So let's start with what an epic game, man. I want to get your take. I just want to say I try to make it a point whenever I can to watch Knick games in New York at any local establishment. And I was at this restaurant last night watching the game, eating some dinner, and we're sitting at the bar, and the Knicks were up by 50 in the first half. And these guys next to me were like, can we switch it to the other game because this one's over?
What the hell?
At this point, I had I was sipping on a cocktail or two, and I looked over and I was like, you can leave the bar. Like, you don't have to be here, but we're going to watch every single minute of this game and then the post game and then maybe the highlights. So I got no interest in the other games right now. But what was your feel? How did you feel watching this? Like, that was like, I couldn't have dreamed of a better way to open up a game.
Well, I did not see a 50-point win loading. I did not see that at all. I did think we were going to win the game. The spread was like 6, and all the games, well, not all the games, but I just felt like that was indicative of how bad we were going to. I thought we would win by 10 plus points. But the funny thing, before I get into the game, one thing is I had a boy that went to the game. My boy CJ, shout out to my boy CJ. He was at the game, and man, what a game to be at, bro. Like, that's a historic game. Like, people are going to talk about that game for eons, man, and he could be like, I was there. You know what I mean? So that's super cool for him. And then on the other side of the spectrum, I have my cousin that texts me. He's like, and he's my older cousin. he texted me. He's like, I missed the game. Send me the highlights. So I sent him this. I just sent him this. Put this up on the screen. I just sent him this. That's all you got to see, bro. That's the highlights of the game right there, man. Straight BTA. You don't got to see nothing. Hey, man, this game was over in the first quarter, man. Holy crap. Yo, the Knicks, I've never seen them play like that, actually, to be honest with you, man. They hit their stride, and it was curtains for these dudes. Like, I don't think Mike Brown or anyone in the coaching staff knew that they were going to do this today. Like, there's no way Mike Brown was like, oh, we're about to smoke these boys by 50 today. I don't know what happened. Man, to beat a team by 50 points, that's crazy, man. But yeah, so Cat, another
in an elimination game. In an
elimination game. Word. Cat triple-double on 4 shots is insane. OG, I felt like he was playing cornerback for the Jets and he was just intercepting everything. Like, they would try to pass the ball and he was just in the passing lanes, taking everything away, man. And that really was the story of the game. Like, those two guys, like, really, that's really what I mean. Shout out to Mikel. I know you're
there. You go.
Mikel.
There
Shout out to
you
Mikel. He finally showed up. So that was nice to see, man. Hey, man, I don't want him to do bad. I actually want him to show up. So it was great to see Mikel. But more importantly, it was great to see him going to the cup, man. Every time he went to the cup, I was celebrating. I was like, oh, he got a layup through contact. He got like 3 of them things. So I was hyped, man. I was so hyped.
It was nice to see him angry. It was nice to see him taking things personally. Like, it was a personal game. It should have been personal. Like, we don't need, we are way more talented, and we prove that. What did you think of the scuff between Dyson and Mitch? Any thoughts on Mitch? I was happy for 2 reasons. 1, it prevented Mike Brown from continuing to play him, and 2, it's nice to see us feisty. It's nice to see us angry and taking things personally.
It's well, it was a dirty play. He elbowed the crap out of Mitch. That was completely unnecessary. I wanted Mitch to flip him like Derek Harper flipped JoJo English in that series against the Bulls. That's what I wanted him to do. Like, man, slam that dude. Salute to my guy Fritz, man. Salute to Jay Ellis in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys joining us. Yo, but let me put this up on the screen. This was Mitchell Robinson's response when he this is what he posted on his IG today, I think. A little cheap shot of him scoring or getting rebounds over Dyson Daniels and him flexing on Dyson Daniels, and he's like, on to the next round. Peace. Like, took his last part. And then if you didn't, I'm not gonna put it up here, but if you haven't seen, go check out the hamster country song. It's a country song of a hamster singing a country song that Mitch put up, and that's really hilarious. Go take a look at that one if you haven't. Go search that one up if you haven't seen it yet. But that was hilarious. Mitch is hilarious, man. I love his socials.
I love it. Yeah, it was man. I have never experienced a win like that. I can't think of a playoff series where I got to just enjoy an entire second half and not worry. I mean, we were texting in the group chat, take out the starters. I think it was like in the beginning of the 3rd quarter, we were all like messaging that. So any other like things that stood out to you about the game or the series before? We're going to talk about Mike Brown because I think that might lead into a lot of other conversations for us. But did you feel as though the team just took things a little personally after we went to Atlanta? Did they just wake up? Did they like what was a turning point to you? What stood out to you about how we kind of, fixed this problem of like being so lackadaisical the first 2 games?
That's what I was gonna say is I actually think that this series couldn't have gone any better for the Knicks. And like, maybe you would think, what do you mean? Like, they could have swept and it would have been even better. But no, I think this round couldn't have gone any better for the Knicks. The rest of the East is still playing. So we're going to have the rest advantage. Beautiful. And I think the 2 losses I think back to Detroit and how that series, I think, got us ready, war ready to face the Celtics last year. And I think these two losses against Atlanta woke us up in a way that if we would have swept them, wouldn't have woken us up. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And I think, like, because experience is the best teacher. Sometimes losing is it helps you learn the most, right? So I think those losses just did a lot for us, man. It woke us up. It woke everybody up, including Mike Brown, because he was being horrible in the losses. So I think it woke everyone up, and I think like just seeing the way everything ended now, I think it couldn't have gone any better for us, right? Because we got to get some lessons learned and wake us up for the rest of the playoffs instead of like having swept and then having to learn some things against the Celtics. Like, yeah, we don't want to be in that mode against them. We want to be ready to go and like be a well-oiled machine once we get there. So that's why I think first round went great for us.
See, I don't fully agree with you. And the reason I think your take has legitimacy right now is because the Sixers and Celtics are going to 7. If that series wrapped up the way it should have in 5, then you might be saying something a little different about us having to go to 6 games and then maybe play Boston, who's the favorite for that series this coming weekend. This works out for us because that game is going 7, and now we get 3 days off. So
no, that's why I said it. That's why I said in hindsight, like now I'm knowing how it could have been bad if the Celtics won in 5, then I wouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? Because then we wouldn't have the rest advantage and all that. But yeah.
So I know we got some folks trying to get in on the panel. Our boy Lee. So I'm just trying to figure out, Lee, how to get you to join.
Let him up now. Let him up now and give his take on how he thought the series went.
Lee, check out the chat, my dude, and come join us. Really interested to hear your comments as well. So coming back to this working out in our favor, right? I think that the CJ McCollum magic wore off. I mean, people were like talking about him like he was MJ after the first 3 games. What were the changes we made defensively, do you think, that really altered how we shut one CJ down towards the end of the game? And 2, I mean, you could even just call like they were anemic on offense all the way around. What adjustments did you see? I mean, there's one thing that really stood out to me that kind of had a trickle effect on the overall game, but I'd like your take first.
Well, the first and foremost thing that we did was we took Brunson off of him, right? That was like easy, like low-hanging fruit. Just take Brunson off of him. He's cooking. He's flambeing Brunson. So we did that. That was like an easy no-brainer. And I think Josh Hart got a lot of that assignment. So kudos to Josh Hart, man. He really stepped up. He played great defense the whole series. But then we did other things like when he was coming off of screens, we were blitzing those screens and he had to get off the ball quick and he threw a couple of turnovers. So I saw that too. Like we were switching up our coverages on him and just had him off balance. Like he didn't know what we were going to do next. And I think that's the key. Like just in general, whether it's offense or whether it's defense, you want to keep your opponent off balance and not knowing what you're about to do. That's why going into Brunson isolation basketball for the majority of the game isn't good, because the defense knows what's coming and it's easy for them to set up. This is the NBA playoffs. Like they're going to shut it down. So the way that we started operating was a lot more unpredictable. And that's how we got to continue to operate in order for us to keep progressing through the playoffs. Just that the more unpredictable we are, the better we'll be.
So 2 things. One, I want to shout out Phil. For our listeners, you probably have noticed that you are seeing my face much more clearly. You're hearing me a little more clearly as well. I got some sexy lights on in the background. Shout out to Phil for helping my glow up over here. And I agree with a lot of what you said, but to me, the number one difference, if I was to bring it to one thing, and we talked about this in our last pod too, what helped us win all the series in the regular season? What helped us last year in the playoffs? What will be the key to this year in the playoffs? Mitch Robinson. We said it was criminal when he played 11 minutes.
Mhm.
Somebody must have heard us because that man changed the whole dynamic of the game. He asserted himself. We had our big lineup. We've been calling for Mitch and Cat to be our front court now for a minute. And when those two guys are out there, we are a problem. Now, we've been talking about Atlanta's size, right? Everyone's 6'8, 6'9, 6'10. Their guards are 6'6. We were always worried about the size that would then become a problem for us. But they got nobody who can body up Cat. You can be 6'10, but Cat still's got 50 pounds on you, and he got his way in the paint. Also, Mitch Robinson, 7'1. So they have the length. They are a problem on the perimeter side of the defense. But when we decided to assert ourselves in the paint, that's when we were able to take control of the game. So I was really happy with that adjustment. I've been saying, and it's not, anything that's new, but I personally believe our ceiling is what Mitch Robinson is able to do for us because he really swings the game. So shout out to Mitch. I was really nervous when he had that ankle injury for a minute, and that's another reason I'm happy we get these few days off. I'm glad he got that ejection when he did. And so, excited for him to be rested, and we'll see what comes next. So let me ask you, now that we've kind of talked about the game for a minute. Oh, we'll put this in. So I'm going to share this link in the chat for our folks to join us. But let's talk about Mike Brown, right? Like, we have gone in both directions on Mike. We, some have talked about, how much he's learned. Is he our coach? Do we like what he's doing? 53-win season. And then you have haters like me who have been questioning him throughout. We won the first round. We did it in 6. Do you want to give Mike Brown flowers? Are you happy? Like, what is your assessment of the Mike Brown situation after round 1?
I give him a B plus. I think, I would give him a higher score, but those 2 losses I thought were squarely on him. Like, I don't understand where he got the bright idea to have non-Brunson and non-Cat minutes at the same exact time. Like, don't have any of your superstars on the floor. I don't know who told him that was a bright idea, but that was horrible. And then there was one game, I think it was game 2, where his after timeout plays were horrible. Like, we weren't getting anything out of them. And it's like, dude, that's coaching 101. Draw something up, my boy. That's why you have a clipboard for you to draw something up. And they were not executing out of those timeouts, which is, I think, is very important in the playoffs, right? Like, if you want to succeed in the playoffs, you have to be able to execute out of timeouts. You call a timeout so you could draw a play and get a good look. And in game 2, we just weren't doing that, and that's a reflection on the coach. And then in game 3, the closing lineup, like, for you not to have Mitch Robinson out there, for you to have Deuce out there, and then they just shoot right over Deuce for the game winner. It's like, man, like, Deuce shouldn't have been out there. Like, CJ was scoring on Deuce the whole game. It's like, why did you think Deuce was going to stop him? Deuce is short. Like, he's a good on-ball defender, like stopping, containing the dribble and stuff. But when someone needs to get a shot, if he's guarding him, they're going to shoot over him. So he shouldn't have been in the game. Mitchell Robinson, we had OG guarding Okongwu at the rim, our best defender, basically going to waste that whole possession. When you could have had him on CJ, because we knew CJ was going to get the ball, and you could have had Mitch on Okongwu. Mitch could have easily locked up Okongwu. I don't understand where that decision came from. So again, that was another bonehead coaching decision. Okay, so that's why I knocked him down. But man, like, you can't argue with the results after that. Like, we come out and win 3 games in a row in dominant fashion, to the point where yesterday was a historic historic victory, right? Like we went into halftime, the highest deficit in NBA playoffs history. So he turned things around. He pivoted. He changed the defense. He took Brunson off of CJ, and then also he changed up the offense too. He pivoted and started running the offense through Cat, and that really is what sparked this team. Like, because ever since we did that, everything started clicking. Right, Brunson up until that point, his series was a little up and down. He had like a few bad quarters and then a couple of good quarters sprinkled in there. His average was still high, but I think his shooting percentage was a little bit on the lower side. But once they changed the offense to run through Cat and Cat started cooking, guess what happened? It opened up stuff for Brunson. And that's when the last 2 games, Brunson went off. Like, so that's also, you got to give kudos to Mike Brown. So I think he made some good adjustments. And if he doesn't, we lose the series if he doesn't. So props to him. Now, Tell me how you're going to hate on him. Tell me, because I know you're going to hate on him somehow.
I'm absolutely going to hate on him. I'm a hater, bro. You know this about me. But before I start hating, I want to bring on the one and only Lee. And let me have him join. I'm going to.
Hey, hold on. Let me see if I remember Jay Ellis's intro. ESPN contributor, Bleacher Report.
My man. Yo. Well, this is our first stream from a KOT, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yo,
sir.
man, give yourself a round of applause. Let's go. Hell yeah, man. Great to have y'all streaming from a KOT channel. Welcome to the KOT family. Consider me the ambassador, the welcome crew. I wanted to hop on here and just give some flowers, give some love, and talk a little Knicks. I was actually outside very late with my dad last night, celebrating this win. As I think it was Raw who said it when the show first started. This was the first time you were able to actually just enjoy a second half. This was the first time, these last 2 games was the first time my entire Knicks fandom, I was able to have fun during a playoff game. I started watching in 2002. My first playoff series was 2004. And I had many years where it was either very, very stressful, just get bounced in the first round, or very, very embarrassing, where being a Knicks fan was actually shameful because Boston's sweeping you, or the Nets are sweeping you, or the Miami gives you 1 game, right? Or the Atlanta Hawks give you 1 game. It's like, holy hell. This was a series from the start I thought was going to be a sweep because when I looked on paper, I thought the Knicks definitively had more talent. And I didn't think that Quinn Snyder was a Joe Mazzulla X factor, meaning he's a great in-game or game-to-game adjuster. He's, to me, an average coach. And I thought this way for other series too, right? I thought, well, if Embiid comes back, now Philly has more talent than Boston. I thought Orlando has more talent than Detroit. And you're seeing those series also be very competitive. But in this series, I thought it was a huge chasm between not just the starting 5, y'all, the bench. Really, and I said this about a week before the series started on the KOT show. I said that Atlanta Hawks bench were a bunch of bumps. That it was really, really weak outside Kuminga. But I also said Kuminga's very inconsistent. With CJ having to be the starter, you really had no off ball. You even had no off the bench on ball threat. Hey, Vincent, barbecue chicken, by everybody was hunting him on the Knicks. Nice to be the team that has the hunting ability instead of being the one who's hunted, as we typically have in series past. So awesome win. Thought it was going to be in 4 or 5 at the most. Those 2 games were very, very embarrassing, and it's the only reason why I don't give Mike Brown an A. I would give him a B+ for the entire series.
Yeah, that was another one of the adjustments that he made. He changed up the bench lineup. I forgot to mention that too.
Shamet.
Because he started, he took Shamet out and he put in Alvarado. And Alvarado was a spark plug for us. Like those games that he came in, like he was coming in, he was like lightning in a bottle. He was getting us going. So again, another big change that he made. And without those changes, we don't win. So
Shout out Phil Porto says that Raw needs a Mike Brown jersey. Let's get you that. Let's get you that Mike Brown jersey.
I
0-0,
told
bro.
Al, if we win a championship, I will hang a picture of Mike Brown in my office. That's
Bro,
like,
me too, man.
that's be me. Maybe I'll even do some AI. I'll add him to like a family picture or something. We'll figure it out.
We win a championship. I'm getting a Mike Brown snuggie pillow, trying to snuggle with it every single night. You know, I had to be the first one to say something pause worthy on the show. I want to make sure I beat Al to it.
That's hilarious.
So, all right. So you gave Mike Brown a B. Al gave him a B plus. But let me also ask you while we got you, Lee, what was or who stood out to you in this series? Like, who was your series MVP? Obviously you got a nice list to pick from. This is a fun game to play because it really could be, I think, almost 3 different players.
Yeah.
Who is your, if you had to pick one, who is your guy?
I think the most obvious one is OG Anunoby, but I do think it could be very, very close. And first of all, I give OG that position because of the offensive onslaught. He was the X factor for us in a way that Atlanta had no coverage solution for him. They tried to go big, they tried to go small. It's kind of like how we tried to do different things to slow down a Jason Tatum, right? Or a Jimmy Butler, and there's no answer. OG has a combination of athleticism. He's not an elite athlete, but he's well above average. He's so strong. He can finish through contact. He can finish vertically or in transition. It makes him a really, really threat attacking closeouts. You can't give him too much space, and that allows him to pull it for 3 in the corners, where he's also cash money. But very close to me is Josh Hart for the unexpected defense that he played on their best player, Jalen Johnson. I wrote a Substack that came out this morning, the 5 reasons why the Knicks absolutely gobsmacked the Hawks. And one of those 5 reasons was because of Josh Hart's physical fronting defense on Jalen Johnson, really turning him into just a jump shooter opposed to the 3-level facilitator that he has been for them as a candidate, in my opinion, for All-NBA for the entirety of the regular season. But he really just turned him into a mid-range scorer, and we live with those shots. Anything in paint or on the perimeter, he was bodying them, face-guarding them, making it very difficult for him to make the pass, to make the catch. He was catching out of his position, out of his sweet spots, and having to do these very tough turnaround jumpers or very far distanced floaters. It took him out of his game, and it got inside of his head.
I think he had a very good series, but I can't give him the MVP because didn't he have 0 one game with his buddy Mikal?
I'm okay with that. Josh Hart is right. You have to shoot the 3 when you have it. You don't always have to make it, but you have to shoot it in order to keep the rotations
keep
honest on their end. But I don't look to him for scoring. I look to him for facilitation, defense, and rebounding. Anything besides that is a plus to me.
That's fair. One more other thing about the OG Anunoby nomination is OG is the only player in NBA history to finish a playoff series shooting 20 or slashing 20 and 8 on 70%, 70+% effective field goal percentage. The only player in history to ever do that. That's insane.
A big part of that was him almost going perfect from the field yesterday in that blowout. I think that's a big part of that. How incredible that stat is, but who cares? Like how it happens doesn't matter. The fact that it happens matter, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much true, except for Bam's 81 points or 82 points. Then you start looking at the free throws, and they're like, actually, it does matter there. But that stat in particular, especially in a playoff series, right? Not in some bum on a April Tuesday night, but in a playoff series, OG Anunoby against a team that has legitimate wing defense too, right? You're thinking about Nall, you're thinking about Dyson Daniels, you're thinking about Jalen Johnson, even Neto Otundu, who can switch or guard in the perimeter, and he still did that to him, bro.
Yeah, he was cooking.
Fisheries.
My pick for MVP is Cat, and for the simple fact that we based our whole offense on him. So like he was our hub, right? He like essentially took over the 1A responsibilities from Jalen Brunson. So, OG was cooking, but he's not the offense doesn't run through him. You know what I mean? It had to run through Cat, and Cat had to make good decisions here and there. And one of the things that I noticed is like, remember in the regular season, Cat led the league in offensive fouls. Like he kept getting these stupid chicken wing fouls and always making bonehead plays and turnovers. There was none of that There was none of that this series. And then not to even mention his prowess on defense. Like he all of a sudden became a great defender, elite defender. Like he had multiple stocks in a lot of these games. Like he had blocks. I don't think I saw Cat get a single block the whole regular season. He was out here punching stuff. Like, yo, Cat really stepped up on defense, and I'm one of the people that has always been critical of his defense. So what I saw from him, I gotta give him credit because I didn't even think he had it in him, to be honest with you, man. And now I'm like, yo, you actually can play defense. Okay, now I'm gonna hold you to that. So I thought he did great. I thought he was our MVP. And also, oh yeah, I gotta pull up this other stat. So what's the one? Crap. The triple-double one. You know which one I'm talking about, Lee?
Yeah, he's only the second 7-foot player to ever record more than one triple-double in the postseason. The other is Wilt Chamberlain, who had 9. Cat has 2.
And the first thing that I said when I read that, I was like, what about Jokic? And Lee was like, Jokic is 6'10", baby. He's not a 7-footer.
I don't think that was me that said that, but I definitely second that for sure.
Because I was like, wait, why isn't Jokic on this list?
Hey, I'm surprised Nerlens Noel's not on that list. Yeah, where's my Jared Jeffrey shout out? He had a quadruple double. 0, 0, 0, 0.
So, Rob, who's your MVP?
Well, I agree with you. It was Cat for me. I mean, 2 triple doubles.
Wow.
And, I did say from the beginning, Cat is the player I'm going to watch this series. I thought, like, with all the length and all the talk about Atlanta and being worried about their defense, I felt after watching him during the regular season against Atlanta that nobody could guard him in the post, and that as long as we asserted him in the offense, we were going to be okay. And it was great to see that we moved away from just handing the ball off to Jalen Brunson at the top of the key. The offense was initiated by Cat. And you know what dynamic throughout the season, I didn't realize how good the dynamic was. And maybe it's really just taken off more during the playoffs, but the love for OG and Cat was really interesting. Those two guys are like, they were bonding. They did the press conference after the game together. OG was throwing Cat, had given him his flowers. It was really nice to see. And Cat was finding OG on the cuts. You know, the back.
He was finding everyone on the cuts.
He was finding everyone. And it was nice to see us initiate an offense through Cat, especially at the beginning of the game. JB is our fourth quarter guy, and we let him cook in the fourth. And it was great that we started the offense in the early part of the game with Cat, because you can't just run the same motions throughout 4 quarters. And I thought that was one of the biggest adjustments that we never saw in the regular season.
Hey, Raw.
Yep.
So Cat was my MVP, but also what's crazy, we've talked about Cat. We've talked about Josh Hart. Talked about OG. We have not given much love to Jalen Brunson, and that is a great thing. That is a great thing right now. That is what we needed to do to be a serious team this playoffs. And shout out to Jalen Brunson, who dropped 39 points in Game 5, 8 assists last night. He's been a great point guard for us. He stepped up when he needed to, and you know, this is what we wanted. Like, I don't want to be celebrating Jalen Brunson in the first round of the playoffs. Like, the rest of the team needs to get going so that JB can cook as the playoffs progress. So Cat was my MVP. Flowers for Jalen Brunson, and what you've all been waiting for, the Mike Brown grade. See, I hear that baby crying in the background.
What did you grade him?
I'm gonna give Mike Brown a C+.
Oh my God!
Hey, yo,
that is horrible.
Hey,
how?
Hey.
Damn, I don't have my boys over here.
I will kick you both off this show and just do it alone for the next 30 minutes.
How did you land? How did you land on the C, bro? How did you land there?
How did I land there? Okay. Lee, what did we talk about? This series should be over in 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Right? It took
Okay.
6. That's the
Crazy.
first one. It was criminal what he did with Mitch Robinson not playing him or playing him those 11
That
minutes.
was criminal. I'll give you that. Okay.
You giving criminals B grades now? I mean, it was criminal, right? Like you can't. You can just be that, like, and then I can read the text messages of the panic ensuing in the third quarter of last game, being like, for the love of God, get the starters out, get the starters out, get the starters out. These are all coaching decisions. All right. And somebody steps on an ankle, something goes wrong. All of a sudden, all we're talking about is why was Mike Brown playing these guys when we were up by 45 in the third quarter? So I'm giving Mike Brown love. It's a C+. It's good.
Passing.
It's passed.
It's
You got us through Atlanta in 6 games. In 6 games.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with my grade. You keep it up. I'm going to drop it to a C, Lee. You keep it up.
I can't tell if this is like Andy Kaufman performance art or if this is a real thing that Raw believes. But either way, I don't think he defended it.
Listen, I don't light any beams. I don't wear Timbs for fun. I am who I am, and I'm not it. I'm all about what do we know what we were getting when we were entering the playoffs? We did not. So I'm sticking to it, and I hope he proves me wrong going into the next round. We're going to talk about that next. But before we wrap up on Mike and we wrap up on the Knicks, anything else you guys want to talk about? Because I'm not. That game was so good. I could talk about it for the next hour. And it's nice to win a series.
I got something
you want to talk about relative to Mike in the first round.
Yeah, I got something that I found fascinating today. I was watching Dexter Henry's show. What's it called? New York Got Game. I was watching his show today, and they showed the Mike Brown press conference post game, and he said something interesting, man, because he was talking about Cat and his role in the offense and how they pivoted to a different offense. But the whole time, Cat has been saying, like, I don't know my role in the offense. I don't know my role in the offense. He was saying that all year. And so then you see how he performed and how the offense, like, performed with him as, like, a hub. And I was like, he went full Sabonis. And I'm like, yo, how did he not get this? Like, why did it take him this much time to figure out his role in the offense? Come to find out, Mike Brown said that he didn't do, like, that wasn't his role the whole regular season. He wasn't trying to use him as a hub. He said he just changed that in this round, in the playoffs. He just changed it to that offense. But he said in the playoffs, in the regular season, they never tried this style of offense. That wasn't his mandate. So now I'm like, oh man, like, I guess I understand why you were so confused. But it's crazy. Like, I'm like, why didn't Mike Brown try to implement this in the regular season? Because when he came here, I thought automatically that he was going to turn Cat into Sabonis 2.0. So I just found that comment fascinating. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I'll take it next before I pass the rock. I'm going to answer that while also combating what Ross said about Mike Brown giving him a C+. That's one of the craziest takes I've heard in this entire playoff.
C+? Come on. That's not that bad.
If those games that we lost, we've gotten our ass cracked by 30, 45 points, maybe you would have an argument, but they were 1-point games. I don't think there's anything that warrants anything below a B plus, in my opinion. I think is drinking a little bit of haterade, brother. And sometimes people say,
what about the mismanagement of timeouts? I mean, that's a big deal. Like, I think a good coach closes out those games. Like, we gave those games away because of bad coaching.
That's true. They were 1-point losses.
Those are coaching decisions that led to those losses.
True. And that's why I said it's only 1 point, though. And that 1 point was informed by the overusing that last timeout too early. But it was only a 1-point loss. It wasn't like a 30-point loss, right? And we didn't gamble 2 back-to-back games because of a misuse of timeouts. Only one game was a misuse of a timeout, too. So I'm trying to contextualize it with all of the overwhelming good that he did, too. Like, how many guys played some of the best playoff basketball of their career? Cat, OG, Josh Hart, Jordan Clarkson. I mean, incredible. Like actual winning basketball too. Not he averaged 20 and he got swept in a
championship level, dare I say, championship level.
But I want to say something to Alice's point too about what I like the best, the way that he used Cat. If you think about the modern NBA, it's fill the corners, have someone in the dunker spot, and then have someone on ball that's driving so that you push 4 defenders inside the free throw line and you force them to make very tough decisions in space. Now, what made us guardable, because we had that, right? We had Bridges on one side, OG on the other, and we had, say, ostensibly Karl-Anthony Towns in the post. And with Jalen Brunson as a driver. But when Jalen Brunson's driving, not everyone really even has to hedge out to the perimeter, because what's going to happen? Jalen Brunson's going to probe for 15, 16 seconds, the clock, before he either takes a very difficult shot or gives a grenade to somebody else. What might Brown change in the playoffs that I think made us legitimately unguardable? And I don't care what team you say we're playing, Spurs, OKC, it don't matter, is this. He changed it to where now Karl-Anthony Towns is the driver, OG or Josh Hart is in the dunker spot, and then you have 2 shooters on the perimeter. One of them could be Jalen Brunson, the other could be Mikal Bridges. Now you have quick triggers. Either Cat drives, you can't hedge too much because you have 2 40% shooters in the corners, and you're doing it within the first 6 or 7 seconds of the offensive set. That is crucial. Now you're forcing the defense into rotation. You're allowed to get mismatches, and you're allowed to be able to have multiple passes that lead to a high efficiency shot within 5 or 8 feet around the basket. We saw that repeatedly in games 4, 5, and 6, and that's why they were all ass whoopings.
And we have counters out of all of those actions. Yeah. So if they start to figure some stuff out, we have counters for all of them. There was a link you sent me that showed that we had like 15 counters out of that action. I was like, Jesus Christ, no one's ever going to stop us.
No, and that's not an Atlanta problem. That's a league problem. Yeah. Now that we're running the offense this way and Cat is the hub, you don't even need to score 25. Brunson to be the high scorer, OG to be the high scorer, Mikal Bridges to be the high scorer. As long as Cat's getting over 5, 6 assists a game, we're going to win. Because this offense is unbeatable with 5 guys that are all elite in the positions that they can all motion into, whether it's a corner shot or a dunker spot shot or a drive. It's wide open. You can't put 2 on the ball. You're going to get cooked.
Yeah, you cooked, Lee. Round of applause for Lee right there. That was – come on.
I got you, Lee. There's a button for that.
Yeah, there is. I was about to say. Yo, Lee.
I just a bit.
Got a Substack coming out too, so just plug your stuff.
Yeah, man. I dropped a Substack this morning. 5 reasons that the New York Knicks put belt to ass to the Atlanta Hawks. I'll give you all the reasons on the show. I won't do this on social media. I want people to click on the link and read. But I'll share the link. I'm sure Fritz will share it in the chat. Shout out Fritz, Phil, and Jay Ellis who are in the chat as well. But the 5 reasons are, and we talked about this in the group chat, the multiple flex actions that we went to starting in game 4, Josh Hart's defense on Jalen Johnson, the dueling blitzing action. Both teams are blitzing that high pick and roll. It led to different results for both teams throughout the series, but overall, I think the Knicks won that battle. The small ball disaster by Atlanta trying to put Dyson Daniel on Cat, which ended up being hilarious, which then led to the 5th reason, paint and glass dominance, outscoring Atlanta 166 to 126 in the paint. Thank you, Fritz, for dropping that link.
Yep. Y'all go ahead and click on that, man. Show my boy some love. He does great work over on Substack, man. Some elite writing skills for real.
Great writing skills, great contributions, questionable grading system, but overall.
Oh, man, I forgot about number 6. I love the chat. Man.
Thank you so much for joining, man. We always appreciate your takes. Always putting out great content. Thank you for making time, and thanks for welcoming us with so much love, man. We appreciate you.
Of course, man. Y'all have a great show. I'll be in the chat cheering y'all on.
All right, bro. Thank you. Peace.
Thank you, Lee.
What do we have next, Ra, on the agenda?
So the next most pressing topic for all of us is Saturday evening, Joel Embiid and his missing appendix battling a broken down Jason Tatum leg. How do we feel?
I want you to go first on this one. Who do you want?
Who do I want? I was thinking about this. It's a great question. I want to see the injuries, but off the bat, I'll just tell you who I want. I want Philly.
Whoa.
I'll tell you why I want Philly. And I'm a little nervous about both. You might be able to convince me other ways, but this is why I want Philly. We get home court. I don't believe Joel Embiid's going to get through another full series. I think he's going to end up hurting his team by trying to labor out there. And I think he's going to have a real hard time with Mitch Robinson and potentially Cat.
Have you watched him? Because he looks pretty good.
He does. He does look pretty good. But I also think that he always looks pretty good for 2 or 3 games. And then he starts falling. He starts getting hurt. I don't think he's going to be in great shape given that, he hasn't been playing. And, I think I want a tired Embiid. And also with the Nova boys, we play well in Philly. Philly gets a lot of Knick fans. So, for us, the home court advantage being the higher seed against Philly, playing well in Philly, and then also wanting to, hopefully get a kind of beat up Joel Embiid. Now, listen, Tyrese Maxey, he scares me. He's I don't know who's going to guard him. But my hope is with somebody like VJ, who's a rookie, maybe the moment will be too big and he won't be ready for it. Prescription P, just for everyone who's listening, I think it's always good to call out the Paul George evolution of playoff P to podcast P to now prescription P.
Prescription P is looking good too, though.
Because he's also well rested, right? He played 15 games this season because he was, taking HGH or whatever. Yeah, so, I am a little worried about Paul George, but we have an answer for Paul George. OG is a real answer for Paul George. And would you rather have Paul George or Jaylen Brown? And I would rather have the Paul George matchup. So, give me your question.
Where are you hiding Jalen Brunson?
Where am I hiding Jalen Brunson? Maybe Kelly Oubre?
Kelly Oubre should post him up all day and dunk on him.
Are they going to stop the offense to isolate Kelly Oubre against Jalen Brunson? Are you saying that you
want to bait him into that?
What's up?
You want to bait him into that?
Yeah. If you're going to stop
I could buy that.
The ball to to Prescription P, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey, so you can ISO Kelly Oubre in the post to Jalen Brunson, have at it, bro.
Yeah, there's really only 2 answers to the question I posed, right? You're either going to put him on Oubre or put him on VJ. And I think VJ could freaking cook him too. So
VJ can definitely cook him. VJ's nasty. But my hope is that the moment is too big for him as a rookie. Yeah. And I think for the Sixers, they have no continuity in that lineup. Those guys have played minimal minutes together. And now they got to figure it out on the fly in the playoffs with Joel Embiid, who's coming in and out of situations, who's going to want the ball. And let me tell you something, that plays in our favor because we don't have to double Joel Embiid. We can play single coverage on him, and that's going to slow down their offense. There's nothing I love more than seeing Joel Embiid have to jog his big ass down from one end of the court to the other while Tyrese Maxey dribbles up around the perimeter, waiting for him to establish his post presence. All of that plays into our favor, I think. So
I'm laughing because the chat was hating on you for the C+, but now they're agreeing with you that Brunson should guard.
Because they know I'm right, dude. They know. Everybody knows.
You missed the most important reason why you should want Philly.
Because it's the Villanova. I think that's the Villanova.
No. Home court advantage. We will have home court advantage.
That's what I said. I opened up.
Oh, you said it.
Higher seed. Yeah. With the higher seed. And I also think Knick fans travel better in Philly than they do in Boston. We have more Knick fans at Philly,
and these guys do play better in Philadelphia
too.
Like Brunson and them, yeah.
The Nova boys play great in Philly.
That's true. My choice is actually the Celtics, and if you watched yesterday, actually, Walt Clyde Frazier had an in-game interview from Lisa Salters, and she asked him the same question. And he picked the Celtics too, and for all the same reasons that I was thinking. I think we match up better against the Celtics. I don't think the Celtics are really clicking like that right now, and they live and die by the three, right? So it's a little scary from that sense, because if they get all of a sudden hot from three, then it could bite us in the ass. But the reality is they're not there. Tatum isn't there. He's not hitting. He's not clicking on all cylinders like he was last playoffs. Vucevic, I'm not scared of Vucevic. When they made that trade, I was like, who cares? This dude's a bum. Like, we will cook him all day. Then they got all these like random obscure white boys. Oh, Derek White, Peanut Head. He's literally the worst player in the NBA playoffs right now. Literally, like in plus minus, he is the absolute worst player right now. So they're not playing well. They may sneak out this win on Sunday because they're at home. We beat them last year when they had home court, so I'm not really worried about them. I think they had a better team last year. They had like I agree.
They had a better team last year.
So we should beat them. Like, I think we can beat them. They actually don't scare me. They don't scare me at all. And I think Tatum is just not. He's gonna be even worse next round, right? He's gonna have to go 7 games right now, and then he's got to come see us for another probably 6 games. Like, his leg is, I think his leg is less likely to hold up, and he already just he might not play on Sunday. Actually, on Saturday, he was hurt. He got hurt. He left the game yesterday. So I think he's more likely to not be there the whole series than Joel. Joel looks good, bro. I don't know if he's on Ozempic or what, but he got skinny. Dude looks nimble out there, man. So I'm a little bit more worried about the Sixers. I think they're hitting their stride, and we struggle against Maxey, yo. We can't stop Maxey. Like, Maxey cooks us. He's like a bolt of lightning. I get a little worried about that. I think, and then again, like, I think hiding Brunson is actually going to be problematic for us in those matchups. I think we have a better chance of hiding him against the Celtics. So that'd be my choice.
Yeah, I don't want to agree with you, but just to show people I'm a reasonable person, you make great points. I really wasn't sure. I think the concept of having home court advantage really was appealing to me with the Philly matchup, but I am really worried about the guard matchups with VJ and Maxey and what that can do to our backcourt. That doesn't favor us, where I do think we can figure out how to match up against Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So let's see. Like, you've convinced me. See, I'm a reasonable guy. I just won't bend on the Mike Brown grade, but I do think that I'd be okay with playing the Celtics. I think that they have less weapons for us to worry about. Their bigs are way less impressive. We can definitely dominate more inside. And to me, Nick Nurse and Joe Mazzulla are both top coaches.
Championship coaches.
So you can't hope for one coach or the other, because they're both going to give you hell. So from a talent perspective right now, Philly is the more talented team. So I guess with that being said, I agree with you. I can be convinced that we would prefer Boston. I just wanted, it'd be nice to have home court advantage, because I think I guess we play better at home, but maybe we don't. I don't even know anymore. So
I don't know.
Maybe home court isn't what it. And we get all these yuppie fans in New York now for round 2 because the tickets are so expensive. So you know what? Maybe it doesn't really matter. So I'll give it to you. Let's go. Let's go with the Celtics. But whoever the matchup is, what are you looking for? Depending on the matchup, do you have a player that you're specifically going to be like, this is the guy that we need to activate in round 2, or will it be dependent on who we end up going against?
Well, the other thing is I fully expect to beat both of those teams. And I also fully expect to keep playing the same exact way. I think we should continue to play through Cat. And I don't think that should change. I think we've just unlocked a championship level offense. So I think we should just keep it the same. I don't think we should change it at all, man.
So can I ask you a question about that? And then I'd love to get your thoughts on who you're looking for. There was a point in, I think it was the end of the regular season, maybe. I think it was the end of the regular season, because I don't think we did this in the playoffs, but we haven't really seen the JB Cat pick and roll, right? We saw it for a couple of games and then it disappeared, and we haven't really seen it since. And now we've seen this new offense where we initiate Cat at the top of the key. Yeah, do you want to see a little more of the pick and roll back in play? Like, what are your thoughts on, I would say, some of the inconsistencies, that we're seeing from our offensive system?
The Celtics play a lot of pick and roll. I don't think either of these teams, well, maybe Philly plays a little bit closer to a hub with Embiid. But if we get the Sixers, they're used to covering pick and roll all day right now. They're not used to guarding this hub type of offense. So I would definitely keep it for them. And maybe for, maybe we can mix it up. I think at the end of the day, our offense should start that way, but the whole premise is to mix it up and be unpredictable, because if you remember Game 5 when Brunson had 39, we started off going through Cat, and that opened up everything for Brunson to get downhill. And that game, Brunson wasn't like dancing around doing that herky-jerky stuff. He was going right to the cup. So I think this always opens up everything for the rest of the offense. It gets other guys involved on cuts and all that kind of stuff. But for Brunson, it opens stuff up for him too. So I think that's the way to go. And then if Brunson's really got it going, we could always just pivot to him, right? And he can bring us home. So that should be the game plan. Like, Brunson he's our primary option, but the best way for him to be our primary option is to get everybody else going, because then he can properly cook. So we'll find out, because this is the real Mike Brown test. This round really matters. Whoever we end up matching, they all matter, bro.
What's up?
They all matter, bro.
Coaching from like this until we, hopefully we talk finals one day.
Yeah, because when we get to the finals, we're gonna be like, this is the Mike Brown test. This is right.
This is all on Mike Brown, bro. Yeah. Every moment of this. If he wants to keep this grade and not go any lower.
12 more wins, bro. 12 more wins. I got the countdown started. Let's go.
We've always been great at math, bro. That's impressive. 12 more wins. Al knows. So
let's are we going into Crisis Corner?
We can. Is there anything else? Yeah.
I just wanted to shout out the chat, man. The chat is lit, man. I see Nick Yak in the building. I see Dark Fried Chicken. What up, man? He said, let Bodega Cat purr. Marsh Zone. Shout out to all y'all in the chat, man. If y'all haven't hit the like button, please go ahead and smash that like button. We're trying to get these likes up and we're trying to grow the channel. So share it out to all your friends too, and make sure you subscribe. All right, let's do it, man. Let's get into Crisis Corner.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just want to second that. Shout out to our listeners. I saw a lot of love in the chat. It really means the world to us, guys. Thank you to our new listeners. Thank you to the KOT family. This is nothing like a Friday afternoon and getting to celebrate a big Knicks win with all of you. So thank you, guys.
Happy hour, baby.
Cheers. This is coffee, but later tonight I'll get after it. All right, Crisis Corner. Before I actually do Crisis Corner, you did that awesome Hawks impression earlier. Would you do a cat impression? Would you do a big purr for cat? Is there like a sound effect for cat that you'd be willing to commit to?
I got a small impression for later.
Later? You're gonna close? Okay, great. Okay, you keep drinking. I can't wait for that impression. It's gonna be so good. All right, Crisis Corner. So for our listeners, for our newer listeners, me and Al are in the stages of fatherhood. We talk a lot about being dads and share some of our recent experiences as we watch our kids grow up. Part of Knick Life Crisis, the concept of it was like, me and Al go way back to the days of college when we had no responsibility. Now we are in charge of other human beings and their livelihood. So it's been an impressive journey, and we like to kind of talk about that a little bit. So we're gonna talk about our fam, but we also like to take a minute and talk about non-Knick related things. So Al, the playoffs, the first round has been awesome to watch. There's been so much action.
Chaos everywhere. Yeah, it's chaos.
I'm gonna call a couple things out, and then I would love to hear from you, like what series has really like been impressive to you? Like, what have you like really leaned into? So we have obviously Orlando, Detroit. That's getting crazy. It's a great series. Orlando they look good. They look strong. Paolo looks like he cares about basketball again. It's they're playing like big boys. There's also a secondary story there with Jalen Duren and Wendell Carter and the love of their lives, Angel Reese. She's also back in action. You can catch her highlights on Brick Center on Instagram. So you have that dynamic to talk about. And then you have Jokic, my MVP, out in the first round with no Ant. Prayers up to Dante. Quick recovery for him. Love Dante. Also, I've always talked about my love of Chris Finch. That guy is an incredible coach, and he deserves all the flowers for managing to get out of the first round with them. We got the Lakers. Austin Reeves just came back. Pick your poison. And then, of course, Wemby, SGA, quickly and effectively move through the first round. No problems, no competition. How are you feeling about like the NBA landscape right now and everything that's going on?
Well, your MVP Jokic lost to your favorite player, Julius Randle. So you got to hold that L first and foremost.
He lost to Rudy Gobert. And for the listeners, you heard my hate about Mike Brown. I have that same sort of hate towards Julius Randle. I'm ultimately a Julius Randle hater. But yes.
So Wemby has a clear path to the Western Conference Finals. He's going to be in the Western Conference Finals because they got to play Timberwolves, and they're a shell of themselves right now. Like,
is Ant definitely done for the playoffs?
I'm pretty sure he's done. Yeah, bro. Okay. It looked bad. So yeah, Wemby will be in the West. It's gonna be Wemby versus SGA in the West. That's gonna be absolute cinema. It's gonna be absolute cinema. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be lit. Nando Love was good. That's my cousin. Appreciate you being here, bro.
I also want to shout out my boy Jermaine, Dark Fried Chicken over here. Thank you for the comment. Rock keeping other humans alive when he can barely keep himself alive. A true miracle. Thank you, Jay Griff. I love you, bro.
Yeah. The other things, I think Orlando's gonna win tonight, bro. I think Orlando's gonna move forward. They're gonna advance. And then they gotta play. Man, the Cavs have looked horrible, man. They are such a fraud team. And when they got Harden, a lot of people was like, oh my God, they got Harden. I was like, bro, why would I be scared of Harden? All he has proven throughout his career is that he can't win in the playoffs. And so I'm not scared of him. And he's proven it again, bro. I don't think he's having a good series. So imagine Orlando has to play against Toronto in the next round, and selfishly for me, I would love for Orlando to beat them, and then we meet them in the ECF because then I could go to some games because Orlando's right there. That would be so lit. So that's kind of like what I'm rooting for. The other series that can get super interesting and historic is the Lakers and Houston, because the Lakers went up 3-0. And man, it looks like Houston might have figured something out. I don't know, man. If they could be the first team to ever come back from down 3-0.
And no Durant. You still feel no the same way. No Durant, no problem you?
That's what they've done in the last two games. So that series is really interesting too.
I like that. And so I want to know, obviously you're rooting for Orlando. Do you think they win that series? You feel good about them?
I think they could win. I think they got a good chance. Yeah.
It's tonight, right? Orlando plays tonight at home.
Mm-hmm. They're 3-point dogs at home.
Big game. Wonder if Angel Reese is going to be there. A lot to watch out for.
And the dunk of the playoffs came in that series. My boy Kane. I don't even know. I never even heard of him until he dunked on Jalen Duren. Boy, oh my God, dunk was nasty.
That was violent. Violent. Yeah, Jalen Duren, I think, is going to get like second team All NBA, but has been
he's getting cooked
in playoffs. So interesting to see. Hey, listen, JB Bickerstaff, regular season coach. This is where coaching matters again. We talked about this. So I'm seeing in the chat. Shout out to my brother. No Wagner is he out?
Yeah, Franz has been out. But yeah, this is I think gonna be his third game that he's out or second
He's not
game.
coming back
But
tonight either.
they've played without him, man. They could win without him, I think. I mean, look, Franz is nice. He's a difference maker. He is the 1A on their team, but Paolo has been stepping up. I think they got enough to win. And they're at home. This is their chance. If they lose this game now, I think they're probably cooked because they got to go to Detroit, and after that, they ain't gonna. I don't think they're gonna pull it off in Detroit with no Wagner. Now, in Detroit, Wagner absolutely has to come back, but I don't know if he will. I think he has a calf. He has a calf injury, bro. Like that doesn't heal from one day to the next. That's like a multiple week thing. So, he's playing. Oh, look at that. He's playing. Yeah, they trying to close him out, man. They trying to close him out. So somebody said no Wagner, and someone said he's playing. Nick Yak said he's playing.
We need
For some reason, I believe Nick Yak. I believe Nick Yak.
You don't believe my family? Okay, I see what's going on. No problem. Shout out to my brother. I still love you. So now let's talk about the good stuff. How's my girl Alina doing? How's dad life treating you? Any fun, interesting updates since we last spoke? We haven't done a pod in about 2 weeks, so what's going on?
She's 4 months. She's 4 months now. She had her 4-month appointment a couple days ago, and 13 pounds, 25 inches. My girlfriend took the day off of work so that she can, take her to the doctor's appointment. So they finished it. It was like 92 degrees here that day. They finished the doctor's appointment and they go to the pool, and she's sending me pictures of them at the pool and the floaty. And I'm like sending me all these cutest pictures ever at the pool. And I'm in the office in my cubicle. Like, I really don't want to be here right now. I wish I was hanging out with them. So that was like, I appreciate the pictures, but at the same time, I was like, yo, now I just want to leave here even more than I already do on a regular basis.
But you got one more pat leave coming up, hopefully, right?
I do. Yeah, in July, I'm taking another round of pat leave. The other thing that is an interesting story is, and I'm going to have to put something up on the screen here. So, bro, I was so excited after this win. I had some drinks. I started feeling like the Greek freak in the sheets. So I sent my girl this picture. Dang, I don't know which one of these it is. Let me just do the whole window. Here, show this up on the screen. I text her this. I was like, yeah, girl. You know what I mean? I got my best impersonation of the Greek freak in the sheets. And we get to doing our 1-2 thing, bro. And there is nothing that
this is a family show.
There's nothing that kills the mood. There's nothing that kills this mood more than a baby starting to cry, bro. And you're just like, dear God, like I gotta get this is over for this. Never mind. We'll try again another day. Gotta take care of the baby.
Do you really have these sheets though? I just need to know. You own them?
Yeah, of course, bro.
That's awesome. I gotta get sheets like that. That's amazing. That's so romantic. Actually, Mother's Day is coming up. That's good. These are good gift ideas. Well, I'm sorry your moment was ruined. I didn't expect. I really didn't expect that part of the story. I gotta. What are you drinking? What's going on over there? What just happened?
Bro, baby just starts crying. You're like, bro, that never happened to you? Like, baby starts crying in the middle.
Of course, it happened to me. I didn't have a podcast to talk about it.
Well, this is my first time for this happening to me, so I was like, Jesus Christ, like, not now.
I have so many comments. Anyway,
what about you? You just went on vacation with your family. You were out in Spain watching the Knicks at 1 a.m.
I want to give a shout out to me because I really held it down. I was describing. So we went to Malaga in Spain and also went to Gibraltar. So the best part about going to Gibraltar was getting to sing the Jay-Z line about the Rock of Gibraltar. I kept doing that over and over and over again. It was so good. But it was it was one of the, I had an absolute blast. You know, my kids are 16 months and 5.5 years. It's 8 hours to France and then 3 hours to Spain from there. So 11 hours. And it was crazy. I don't recommend long flights like that with your children. But kids did good. Shout out to them. Went out there for an Indian wedding. So it was a lot of fun, actually. I do want to say, like, it was one of the best dad moments I had with my children. We, you know, it was my daughter, like, she's like a real person now.
Yeah.
And she's got an opinion, and you know, she likes music. So we got to tear up the dance floor together. And do you know who Jalen Brunson? Do you know who Jalen Brunson listens to before his games? Do you know who his artist of choice is?
He listens to some pop
Listen
singer
to
that
Justin Bieber, bro.
Justin Bieber. There you go. Yeah, he loves Justin Bieber.
So we've been once I learned that, bro, we've been playing a lot of Justin Bieber. So
I love his new song, Yukon. I love Yukon. That song's fire.
We're more saying like that, babe. Oh, like, so we were jamming out to that. And it was great, man. It was we saw some monkeys out in Spain, but just shout out to my kids, man. It was the most exhausted and least I've ever partied at a wedding, but it was all well worth it. And me and my wife were saying, as exhausted as we were when we got back, we would do that trip 100 times over again. But that also being said, I'm not getting on a plane with my children again for a little bit. So
you were away in Spain when Mike Brown had his 2 worst performances and everyone was having a meltdown and crucifying him. That was your time to shine, bro. That was your absolute time to shine. And you were away in Spain. Like, you could have had some moments.
Hell, you saw the hate today, bro. I'm gonna take my moment regardless of my trip. Shout out to me, because the game started at 1 a.m. So I was watching from like 1 to 4 and like trying to just keep it going. But I'm glad I got to watch. I got the stream out there. It was a lot of fun. It was a little sad when they lost, obviously, because I was playing catch up and I was hating on Mike Brown alone. No one knew what I was talking about, but I'm glad I got to watch the games, and I'm glad, actually, for what it's worth. Like, was the timing awful? Yes, but guess what? Everyone was asleep. No one was bothering me.
Oh, that's pretty good.
All I did was just sit there and try to stay awake for them and lock in on the iPad. So
nice.
Overall, man, great trip. Shout out to my kiddos. Very excited. And my daughter graduates on my birthday in about 4 weeks. She's getting ready for kindergarten. Nice. So yeah, man, dad life is fortunately treating me very, very well.
That's what's up.
Complaints. Yeah.
And so is Knick life.
Bro, this is gonna be such a great weekend. I'm so happy right now. It's crazy how a Knicks W just swings your whole mood.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Man. So you know, I'm gonna excite for Monday night when it goes down. That's gonna be game 1 for us regardless. And yeah, man. Anything else you want to add on the Knick Life Crisis side?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. I told my story.
I love it. Well, to all our listeners, we are part of the Nick of Time fam now. Please subscribe, like our show. We love your comments. We love the interactions. Thank you guys for all the love. Mike Brown still gets a C+ regardless of how everyone feels about me. And that's all I got. Al, anything you want to close on?
Yeah, if you were following the Knick Life Crisis channel on YouTube, make sure that you follow the Nick of Time show, because we are only going to do one more show on the Knick Life Crisis YouTube. And then after that, we will only be going live from the Nick of Time show. So just make sure that you follow, you subscribe, and then you hit the like button on the show, on the episode, as we're trying to grow the channel to 10,000. We are at 9,100 or something like that subscribers, trying to get to 10,000 like tomorrow. So send us out. to all your friends, and keep it locked, yo, because we're gonna have, I think, Lee and Jay Ellis and B and the gang, Ryan G, they're gonna be putting together a preview of, once we figure out like who we're gonna play, they're gonna come out with a live where they discuss like, you know, how we match up with our next opponent, breaking down some X's and O's, keys to victory, all that kind of stuff. So keep it locked because we got some great content coming in the next couple of days too. So keep it locked with us.
Let's go. Let's get more good games out of Mikel too. F them picks. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, Knicks.
Let's go,
Let's
Nick.
get it.
Thank you, all our listeners. We love you guys. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Peace.